Indian musical instruments. To be frank, we are unaware of all the instruments that are present in India once and now. And today we'll see presentation on Indian musical class instruments and its classification. And music, what is music? It gives soul to the universe, life to everything, and winds to the mind. And it is our duty to learn what the instruments that are present in India, and we'll see classification of that. And classification of Indian musical instruments is done based on science behind them, and they are of three types: percussion instruments, string instruments, and wind instruments. Percussion instruments are broadly classified into membranophones and idiophones, whereas string instruments are classified into plugged string instruments and bowed string instruments, wind instruments into many types. We'll see what percussion instruments are. Percussion instruments are those kind of instruments which are purely based on rhythm and doesn't depend on melody. And it has broadly classified into membranophones and idiophones. Membranophones do have membranes upon them, you could see here, whereas idiophones do not have membranes on them, but still you could find sounds out of them. And they are classified into hand drums, hand frame drums, hand and stick drums, stick drums. Hand drums are those kind of instruments which will be played with only with help of bare hands, whereas hand frame drums, it is also with bare hands, but here the thickness is more, whereas here you could find less width. And stick drums, with help of sticks you do play these instruments. And idiophones, you will have ghatam, manjira and chimta. They don't have any membranes or strings, but you can find them. And string instruments are broadly classified into plugged string instruments and bowed string instruments. Here we'll have strings and we'll plug the strings, and when you leave, the impulses created by the strings will produce sound, whereas in bowed string instruments you will have a plectrum and you will bow at this place and sound comes out of that. And in wind instruments, it is classified into flute, single reed, double reed. Number of holes depends, and the sound depends on number of holes present here. And Indian music is broadly classified into two types: Hindustani music and Carnatic music. Hindustani music you could listen in North India, whereas Carnatic music you can listen in Southern India. And based on place where instruments are played, instruments are categorized into two types: Hindustani musical instruments and Carnatic musical instruments. Here the mridangam, what you see, is Indian Carnatic musical instrument, and whereas this is Hindustani musical instrument. And this is Venu, and this is Kanjira, a supporting instrument for this mridangam. These are gungurus, will be tied to anklets of Indian classical dancers. And you have tamburas over here. It is played for male singers, where at the other end you have tambura for female singers. Okay, we'll have some bit of Indian mridangam.